Okay, so welcome. We will talk about Lord Jagannath. Honestly, I was actually nervous to do this class because there's a lot to cover on Lord Jagannath and he's very special. So I need your blessings so we can glorify Lord Jagannath today. On Sunday, there is an important festival, which I will also explain here. And after 2 weeks, that's the mega festivals coming up. So this will be the best time to glorify Lord Jagannath and introduce him to you all. Now, this temple is Jagannath Puri, Puri Jagannath temple. Okay, and this is Jagannath. This is how Jagannath looks like in the Jagannath Puri temple. Okay, he may look different from temple to temple. Okay, this is Jagannath. All right. And the stories and the origin, the histories, all these are taken from Brahma Purana, Padma Purana, and Skanda Purana. Also Kapila Samhita, so various scriptures. And this because this story started in Satya Yuga, like thousands of years ago. So they call it legends. So there are different versions of stories, okay, because there are also different kalpas. So different kalpas means in this kalpa, we have this Satya Yuga. In previous kalpa, there is another Satya Yuga. So generally some pastime, they repeat from kalpa to kalpa, but the details may change. Okay, so this is how it works. And we need to understand there could be various versions of stories. So I'm taking the version that is generally known to our devotees, ISKCON devotees. Okay. Now, before we go in, we need to know why we are engaged in this hearing. Okay. Krishna said in chapter 4 that one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. So all these efforts to hear and remember is because Krishna said that we have to hear him so that we can think of him and go back to him and never come back here. So it is all effort for that. All right, so let's move, yeah. Okay, have you heard this word Juggernaut? Has anyone heard this term Juggernaut? Is this your first time? Okay, we have 16 people
This
here.
is what Krishna gave to who? Is it the same thing from the lake?
Oh, no, not that. Okay. Not that. Okay, never mind. All right. Now, this term Juggernaut is an English term where it is it's referred to something big, huge, forceful, intense, okay, big, huge procession, anything like that. Okay, now this picture it is also related to something big like a battleship, or alien ship, mighty, big ship. Okay, it is called Juggernaut. And currently it is also being used to refer to huge lorries, large lorries. So Juggernaut means irresistible force. Okay, so now just like this word suggests, Juggernaut, Lord Jagannath is also an irresistible force because he is Lord Krishna himself. All right. And Krishna said that you have to perform bhakti yoga for me so that you will be escaped from birth and death. Now, when we saw in chapter 11, Krishna became so huge, he assumed the universal form. So how could we possibly show our love to him if he is so huge? Right? That is not possible, right? Therefore, he mercifully appears in deity's form so that we can express and show our loving devotion to him. Okay, so when he appears in deity's form, that is also called incarnation. Okay, and when he comes in deity's form, he doesn't come into just any materials. Okay, there are only certain materials will be used to make deities: wood, marble, clay, stone or rock. There's one brass, metal. All right. So other than these authorized, allowed materials in the scriptures, other deities they are not maybe it's not, it doesn't follow the scriptures. So this is following the scriptures. So one of these materials, right? So Lord Jagannath is made of wood. Okay, so we're going to see the story. Okay, and of course he is, if you see Jaggernaut is actually irresistible force, but that is not what Jagannath means. Jagannath means Lord of the universe. Jaga means universe, Nath means Lord, Lord of the universe, right? Okay, so this is the picture of the Ratha Yatra chariot festival in Puri. It's in India, Orissa. Okay, so annually, the chariot procession will happen around June or July. Okay, this is where the deity of Krishna is Jagannath. He will have one chariot. The sister Subhadra Devi will have one chariot, and Baladev will have one chariot. Okay, and this dated back thousands of years in India. Okay, however, it became popular after Srila Prabhupada took Krishna conscious to the West. All right, so at that time, the chariot festivals being celebrated all around the world since 1967 or 1968. Okay, so basically what happens here is that after Jagannath comes out from the temple, he will, this entire road, right, it's called Temple Street, if I'm not mistaken. So say the temple is at the end of this road, and they will come to this end here. There is a temple called Gundicha. So the Gundicha is the name of a queen. She is the wife of King Indrayumna, who built that temple. Okay, so the journey of this three chariot will be from that end to this end. It may look like just 1 or 2 km, but it will take days or hours. Like they start in the morning, they might not even reach at night, because the chariot will move very slow. Jagannath will stop very long. Okay, blessing everyone, and finally we'll come to that temple. So this is the journey in Puri. Okay, so like this, we have in KL, we have Tamanyal. So we will have Jagannath Ratha Yatra in Tamanyal in 2 weeks. And usually that our date here will coincide with the date in Puri Ratha Yatra. Other than that, throughout the year, we will have Ratha Yatra at different timing. Okay, like KL we had in January. Okay, the Klang all will have it in December, things like that. Okay. Okay, what else? The first Ratha Yatra outside India was in San Francisco, 1967. Okay, and in modern history, it is said that the Jagannath Ratha Yatra started in 1230, 1230s. Okay, however, actually it started long ago. Okay, now Jagannath is called Bhavagrahi Janardana. What does it mean? It means that Jagannath does not see the background of the devotee, whether you're a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or Vaishya or Sudra, whether you're a meat eater or not meat eater, you're a vegetarian or you're a fisherman. He doesn't see any of this. Okay, but he only takes the essence of your devotion. Whatever you give to a Jagannath, he will take that. Sometimes in the worship of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, some regulation need to be followed for purification. Only Brahmanas can do certain things, like that. But Lord Jagannath in Puri, the Sabaras have a special privilege. Sabaras there are pig eaters. Okay, they eat fish, they eat pig. Okay, so we will see their special position in that given by Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. Okay, and he also gets angry if somebody mistreat this Sabaras tribe. They are tribal people. Okay, all right. So this is, what can you see here? What can you see here? This is Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, but what is so different about them here?
Elephant.
Yeah, they are in elephant, elephant shape. Yes. Okay, so this form, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra took to satisfy a Ganesha Bhakta. Okay, so I will narrate this short story later. So right now, I just want to show how Jagannath is a Bhavagrahi Janardana. Means he only takes the essence of the devotee. Doesn't matter what is the background. And this one this person is not able to go in to give something to offer to Jagannath, but Jagannath comes out. Jagannath's arms comes out and took the offering from this devotee. So this is called Dasya Bauri story. Okay, another one is how Jagannath showed reciprocated with this great poet. He's a poet and he's a Muslim devotee. He is called Bhakta Kavi Salabeg. Okay, so these are some of the examples that happened long ago where Jagannath reciprocated with devotees, not discriminating whatever their background is. Okay, he only takes the essence of the devotee's attitude. He accepts love from all classes of men. And this is how he is called the most merciful Lord. All right. Okay, so the story starts like this. So be prepared for a late night class, okay? Okay, I also haven't eaten, so let's do this for glorification of Lord Jagannath. So long ago in Satya Yuga, there was a king, Indrayumna Maharaj. His name is Indrayumna Maharaj. He's a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Now, because he's a king, he has material opulence. All right. So, and he's under his ruling, his land, his country, all filled with peace and prosperity. Okay, and his capital is called Avantipura. Okay, it's a very peaceful place that he ruled. All right, and there were abundance everywhere because he's such a great devotee, and he's also sometimes called Rishi. Actually, he can travel to other planets because he's such an exalted person. Okay, but somehow in his heart, he always had this discontentment because he hankered spiritual pleasure beyond this material engagement that he has. And what is that hankering that he has been having is he wants to see the Lord face to face. So this hankering he always had been having in his heart. All right, and one day as he was lamenting as usual that why he's not able to see the Lord face to face, a pilgrim comes. Pilgrim means a person who goes visiting Holy Dham and coming back. So this person came and he said, "Oh Lord, oh King, I know you are yearning to see Lord Krishna face to face. As I was going through wandering, traveling through the forest, at a blue mountain, at the top of Blue Mountain, I saw the Devas were coming down and worshipping deity called Nila Madhava." Okay, that mountain is called Nilachal, and the deity residing on the top of the mountain is called Nila Madhava. Okay, and he saw how the Supreme Lord accepting service from menial people in the forest, and that even the Devas are coming down and doing worship. Okay, so throughout the entire timeline, Krishna can come in various forms. All right, it could be stone or wood, and he will accept the service. So it doesn't matter. Okay, that he sees merciful form to accept service from the devotees. So the traveler described how at the remote place at the top of the Niladri, he saw the Devas worshipping the God, the Lord. Okay, so what happens is that, okay, I explain all this. Okay, it is also mentioned because this Nila Madhava is so special and is so hidden, those who worship him will get liberated. Okay, so that was what was mentioned. So after hearing this, King Indrayana was so happy. Now he only has to search the Lord, right? So he searched. The search begins. So how did he do the search? He sent his best advisor called Vidyapati. Okay, he's a Brahmana priest. He said, please go and find out where is this deity. Okay. From all his best men, Indrayumna Maharaj chose Brahmin Vidyapati to explore Nilachala. Okay, so as Vidyapati was traveling, right, he doesn't know where is this exact spot. But as he was wandering, actually there were a group of people went, okay, with Vidyapati. But what happens is that Vidyapati went on. The rest all came back, couldn't find. So Vidyapati went on, and somehow he got lost or something. He wandered a bit more distant. All right. And then he came to a place where tribal people were living. They are called Shabras. Okay. And he saw this particular person, Vishwabasu, returning from the Nilachal, after the worshipping, he was coming. Okay, as he was coming down, Vidyapati requested place to stay. Okay, so basically he stayed there very long that he actually eventually got end up getting married to the daughter of the Vishwabasu. Okay, her name is Lalita, I think. Yeah, Lalita. All right. So after he got married, he was staying in the house. Vidyapati stayed in Vishwabasu's village, fell in love with Vishwabasu's daughter, and married her. So one day he noticed that something strange is happening to Vishwabasu. He says that he notices that every night Vishwabasu will go out of the house and he will only come back the next day afternoon. And when he comes back, he will smell very good, scented with fragrance like camphor, musk, sandalwood. So he asked his wife one day, where's your father going every day and he coming back with such a nice fragrance? And then Lalita, she knows that the father told her, this secret you should not tell anyone. But because out of love, right, and also Vidyapati pestered her to tell him what is happening, she said, my father goes to the Nilagiri forest mountain and worships Nila Madhava there. Finally, Vidyapati was so happy. Yes, I finally found where the Lord is. Now I have good news to tell King Indra. And he said, please ask your father to take me to the Nila Madhava. I want to have his darshan. After persuading so many times, so finally Lalita had to admit to the father that she actually revealed the secret to him. And of course, Vishwabasu didn't want to take Vidyapati there, but after repeated persuasion, say, okay, I will take you, but you have to be blindfolded. We have to cover your eyes so that you don't know where you're going and where you're coming back. Okay, I'm just going to take you to take the darshan. Okay, so they went on. Okay, so this is an illustration. Vishwabasu, he's actually Savara king. He's the king of the tribal, the leader, worshipping Nila Madhava inside the dense forest of Nilagiri. So it's in a cave. Okay, Vidyapati convinced Vishwabasu to take him blindfolded to Lord Nila Madhava with his daughter's help. So what he did, this is something like Hansel and Gretel story. Who knows what happened in Hansel and Gretel story? How they remember the path they were traveling.
Through pebbles on the road.
Yes, yeah, correct. So similarly, in this story, the daughter gave him, the husband, mustard seeds, so that even if he goes back after a long time, the mustard seed would have sprouted and you have the mustard seed plants there, mustard plants there. Okay, so this is the idea. Okay. So that King Indra can come and look for Nila Madhava through these routes. Okay, so finally, when he reached that place, he got the darshan of Nila Madhava. He was so ecstatic. He began to dance and offer prayers because the Nila Madhava was so beautiful. All right. Okay. All right. So it is mentioned here. Okay, we can actually quote this verse here. How to worship Krishna. Always think of me, become a devotee, worship me. Okay, so in 9.34, Krishna said, worship me. So, and then offer your obeisance. So this is how he mercifully appeared in deity's form. Okay. Right, so what else? Okay, now after Vidyapati obtained the darshan of Nila Madhava, he actually prayed to Nila Madhava that the King Indra is hankering to have darshan of Nila Madhava. So he requested Nila Madhava to make arrangement. Now what happens is that because the relationship between Nila Madhava and the Sabara leader Vishwabasu is very close, they're very intimate because he's been receiving personal service from this Vishwabasu, they are able to talk. Okay, the Lord speaks to the Vishwabasu. He said, dear Vishwabasu, thank you for all your kind offering of your fruits and flowers thus far. But the time has come for me to accept more opulent service from King Indrayumna because he is eagerly waiting to serve me with his opulence. So it is time for me to appear to him. Okay, I want to allow King Indrayumna to worship according to his desire. Okay, so like this, the Lord spoke to Vishwabasu, and naturally Vishwabasu was devastated. Okay, and actually he got very angry with Vidyapati because Vidyapati prayed to Nilamadhava, and Nilamadhava is now going to leave. So after that, there's some story. I'm not going into that. All right. So fast forward, what happens is that Vidyapati went back to his kingdom and reported to King Indrayumna that he actually got darshan of King Lord Nilamadhava. So what happens is that deity vanishes. Okay. Vidyapati returned to King Indrayumna with a fresh garland of Sri Nilamadhava. So what happens? King Indrayumna set forth with his chariot in pursuit of seeing Nilamadhava. Okay, he took many people with him. He went looking for the Nilamadhava's temple. All right. And in that gap, right, actually Nilamadhava actually disappeared into the ground. So that's another pastime. He actually disappeared under the earth. So by the time King Indrayumna find the way using the mustard plant that sprouted and grown, they actually reached the spot, but they cannot find him. The altar was empty. King Indrayumna was devastated. He was so upset that the Lord disappeared. And as he was lamenting about this, okay, and then there's another story. He got angry with the Vishwabasu because, oh, you knowing that I'm going to come to take Nilamadhava, you actually hidden him. But the Vishwabasu said, no, it's not me. Even I am feeling sad. The Lord has disappeared. Okay, so there's that story. All right, so what happens is that Narada Muni came. Narada Muni understood what was King Indrayumna going through, and he said, what you do this Ashwamedha Yagya, 1000 Ashwamedha Yagya, and you build a temple. Narada Muni instructed the king to perform 1000 Ashwamedha Yagyas and build a gigantic, magnificent temple for the Lord. Okay, and then we will install Lord. Okay, we will wait for the time for the Lord to appear. Okay, so the Narada Muni said that the Lord will appear. For now, you build a temple. Okay, now King Indrayumna built a huge temple. Okay, after building the temple with the Narada Muni's advice, they went to Brahma Loka because they want to invite Lord Brahma to install Krishna's deities in the temple. Now, what happens is that in celestial year, a moment there could be hundreds of years here. For example, in Krishna's pastime, it was just half of the day in Lord Brahma's Loka, but on the earth, 1 year has passed. Okay, so a little bit description on this temple. Yeah, so I don't know how to measure this. It's 60 cubits beneath the earth. That means it goes underground and rose 120 cubits above the surface. Okay, at the top of the temple, the king built a kalasa or round pinnacle. On top of that, a chakra or disc. Okay, a chakra has placed here. Okay, and then it is also decorated with golden ornament. All right, okay, so they traveled to Brahmaloka and he spent a long time there waiting for him. Okay, the Lord Brahma's Loka, Satya Loka or Brahma Loka is not accessible to ordinary being. Therefore, King Indrayumna's access there is very special. Okay, so finally, King Indrayumna returned to the earth. And when he comes to the earth, he saw most of the temple was covered by sand. Earlier, when he built the temple in Satya Yuga, the temple was very close to the sea. Okay, Puri is very famous for its Orissa beach. Okay, and it is covered by the sand. So only what we can see today is what was found when King Indrayumna came down 2000 years after Krishna went back to spiritual world. So which means it's already into Kali Yuga already. Okay, so that many years have gone. So when King Indrayumna came, he saw the Vidyapati was not there, Vishwabasu was not there, all his friends and family, nobody were there. It's totally different. The landscape of the earth has changed. Okay, so and then there's another story where the current kings were claiming, oh, I built this temple, I built this temple. So later on, it was revealed that they actually just cleaned up what has been covered, but actually it's not that they built. The original person who built the temple was King Indrayumna. That is why it is mentioned somewhere that I also heard in a class that actually that temple is really huge. When you're walking on the Puri, Jagannath Puri, you're actually walking on the temple because it's hidden way below the earth. And it is also mentioned that there's a lot of jewelries inside, deep inside the temple, and it is protected by poisonous snakes. So it is beyond the reach of normal human being. I think this is also known to the government. Okay, so it is being protected as well, but this is not a very well-known part of this story. Okay, it's very mystical, but when I studied this, right, it's starting from the Satya Yuga and then comes to Kali Yuga, so it all makes sense. This is why it's hidden, because the sand has covered, and this is why the temple seems like being away from the sea. Okay, so what else? And then the earth had changed and no one recognized King Indrayumna in his own kingdom. Okay, all right, so now what happens is that now we come to the sacred tree, the wood, right? Okay, so after hold on, yeah. Okay, now the temple is there, but there are no deities. So the King Indrayumna waited and waited for the Lord to give a sign, right? How are we going to install the deities in this temple? Now suddenly the Lord appeared in his dream and said that on the sea, in the sea of this Orissa, okay, in the sea of Orissa, I will come in the form of wood, okay, as a form of Daru Brahman. Daru means wood. So he said, I will come in the form of wood. You carve me, and then you install me in that, in this temple. All right. So, as predicted, as mentioned by the Lord in his dream, a wood came floating on the sea. Now, when it arrives on the beach, it was so heavy that nobody could carry it. Even the mightiest person couldn't carry it. So as King Indrayumna was thinking, what is happening? Why it's so difficult to carry this? Then the Lord appeared in his dream and said, bring my Vishwavasu, my personal servant. Okay, so how? Vishwavasu is no more existent, right? He's from Satya Yuga. So what happens is that King Indrayumna found the descendant of Vishwavasu, and this person came out and said, I can do this, and he actually helped. Okay, here one side is I think there's two persons doing it. One of it is the Sabara tribe's descendant, Vishwavasu's descendant. He helped, and they're able to put the log of wood on chariot, on golden chariot, and they took it to the palace. And what happens next is they have to find somebody to sculpt. They have to find a sculptor to carve the deity. All right. Okay. All right. Now, another important feature is that the log of wood had these four symbols: Sankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. Conch, disc, club, and lotus. So this is not an ordinary tree. It has come from the spiritual sky. This is a Kalpa Vriksha tree right from spiritual sky. Okay, and it has the transcendental energy same as the Supreme Lord body. Okay. Okay, so finally they had this Sabaras help to bring the log of wood to the palace. Okay, so next is this part. They have to find sculptor to sculpt, to carve. Now what happens is that bringing in all the most expert sculpture cannot even touch the log of wood because all their equipment starts breaking. Many carpenters failed to carve the deity as their tools kept breaking. So the king got worried and he was praying for a solution, right? So what happens next is he was approached by an old carpenter. He said, I can do this. Okay, so according to Narada Purana, this is mentioned, yeah. The artist, in spiritual world, there is a spiritual architect. His name is Vishwakarma. It is also said that he is also incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Okay, and or he is also called the architect of demigods. Okay, so this is in Utkala Kanda in Narada Purana. So he offered to do this, but he put in some terms and conditions. I'm going to take 21 days to carve the Lord, and it should be done behind closed door. And until I finish my work, no one is allowed to open the door. If not, you will be blind. He said that. Okay, so they agreed. King Indrayumna agreed, and then the work started. Okay, so what happens? One day the sound stopped. When the sound stopped, Queen Gundicha, the wife of the king Indrayumna, okay, she was worried. What happens? What happened? Did the old sculpture die? Because he was so old, right? Oh, the work has stopped. I think we should check out what happened to this sculpture. Okay, everyone could hear the carving sound each day, but on the 14th day, no one could hear any sound. My lord, there is no sound coming from the room anymore. What if something happened to the craftsman? Please, I beg you to open the door. And a lot of the ministers, they said, do not open the door, because that was the condition the architect imposed. But because the king was so disturbed, right? What happened? Why he's not hearing the sound anymore? He feels so anxious. And because of that, he opened the door of the room with his own hand. So to his surprise, okay, this is Lord Jagannath's appearance. To his surprise, when he opened the room, the sculpture vanished and the Lord appeared this way. Like the hand is not done, there are no leg, the body is not done. It's like unfinished form. So King Indrayumna was so sad that he felt that I rushed. Now I'm so regretful, so resentful that I became the cause of the Lord not done, right? I'm the cause for this unfinished carving. Okay, so he was so sad. He doesn't know what to do. What happens? Again, the Lord came in the dream and said, don't worry, even if I don't have hands and legs. I do not need hands and legs to perform work. I can do anything with just my eyes. Okay, so this is my my quality. This is my nature. You don't have to have hands and legs, so don't feel so sad. Okay, so this is what I can read this for you all. Yeah, I am eternally situated here in Nilachala in the form of Lord Jagannatha as Daru Brahman. Okay, I have no material hands and feet, but with my transcendental senses, I accept all the items offered in service by my devotees, and for the benefit of the world, I move from one place to another. It may appear that you have broken your promise. However, this is just a part of the sweetness of my pastime to manifest this Jagannath form. So the Lord performed this pastime. He had to make the sound stop. He had to make the King Indrayumna to open the door, and he wanted to show this form, to show that he does not need material hands and legs. He generally, all the deities will come with hands and legs, right? So only Lord Jagannath will appear without hands and legs. Okay, all right. Okay, this is from Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Without legs and hands, he moves and accepts. Okay, this is how the Vedas glorify the Lord. Yeah, without eyes, he sees. Without ears, he hears. He knows all that is knowable, but no one knows him. They call him the original supreme person. Okay, to support this, the Lord has appeared in this form. Okay, so on top of that, to console King Indrayumna, Narada Muni appeared. Narada Muni said, dear king, do not worry of this unfinished form, because I have seen this form earlier. Who knows when and where Narada Muni saw this form of Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra in this little hand and legless form. Who knows? Okay, let me see who's here. Oh, Meena Mataji, you're here. Rajina Mataji. All right, let me ask Indra Mataji. I wonder if you know this pastime.
No, Mataji, not so detailed. I know the pastime, but you're asking a question that even I'm listening to you, I want to know. Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, that's great. Okay, thank you, thank you. Who else? Rajina Mataji, have you heard this pastime where Narada Muni saw this form before this?
No, Mataji.
No, okay. Charana Mataji. Oh, I don't know. Are you doing Bhakti Sastri now? Can I ask you a question?
Sorry, Mataji.
Okay, okay, Tapa, it's okay. Who else I can ask? Pushpa Mataji says she'll be here, but she's not here. She's supposed to like co-narrate with me. Okay, nobody else, yeah. Kartini, any idea?
Is it Dwaraka, Mataji?
Can you narrate, Mataji?
But I don't know the whole story, Mataji. It's like a
Siki,
long time
Siki.
ago.
Okay, I give you the picture.
No, Mataji, you narrate. I'm not very confident.
Okay, so
Okay.
what happens is that one day in Dwaraka, you know, all the queens, they all will gather around Rukmini Devi. Okay, Rukmini Devi is the closest wife queen to Krishna, right? They always wonder why Krishna is always thinking about the citizens of Vrindavan, why he's so attached to them, what is so special about it, okay, and why the gopis are so attached to Krishna. So they will ask him these kind of questions. So they all gathered around Rukmini Devi, just like how you all are gathered there. Okay, so Queen Rukmini will start narrating the pastimes that Krishna, Balaram, Subhadra did in Vrindavan. So as she narrates this pastime, all the queens gathered, they became so captivated. They are so, you know, they're so drawn towards it. Now, what happens is that initially, Subhadra Maharani was in that group. Krishna and Balaram went out already. Now, Queen Rukmini told Subhadra Maharani, why don't you go and guard outside the gate? Don't let anyone enter this room. Okay? Because this is something like very confidential. She's narrating to these queens. And she they put Subhadra Maharani as the gatekeeper. So the Subhadra Maharani was standing outside the room. Now, when she was standing outside the room and Queen Rukmini was narrating all this beautiful pastimes, so such a transcendental mellows filled with transcendental sweetness, they call it that she was so much, Subhadra Maharani, she was so much into the bath means that mellows, she actually shrink. Her body shrunk, her hand shrunk, the legs shrunk, and her eyes became big because I'm so sorry, I'm so lost of words. Okay, it's actually describing how she was so captivated by this pastimes narration of Queen Rukmini. Now, when she was like so frozen like that, these divine brothers also came. Okay, Krishna and Balaram came. Hey, look at our sister. What happened to her? Why is she in this kind of form? And then they noticed that some narration is going on inside the room among the queen. Queen Rukmini is narrating. And they also started listening. And as they listened, their eyes also became big, their hands shrunk, their legs went in. And these three of them, they exhibited this form. And what happens? Who came that time? Narada Muni came because he likes to visit Krishna, okay, and he can do astral travel or interplanet travel. So he came and he saw Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra in this form. He exclaimed and he glorified, oh, what a wonderful form that I am seeing that nobody has seen. You know, he'll glorify all this, you know, all this exclamation, everything comes out. And suddenly Lord Jagannath, Krishna, Balaram, and Subhadra, they come to senses and they came back to their normal form. All right. And they saw, oh, Narada Muni, you should not tell this to anybody. This is a very confidential form. You should not tell. But one day I will appear. I will have a pastime and I will appear in this form in the future. So this is how Narada Muni actually witnessed seeing this form of Krishna, Balaram, and Subhadra Maharani. So therefore, when the Lord appeared to King Indrayumna in this form, he immediately could connect, okay, this is the pastime that Krishna performed in order for him to appear in this form, to move here and there, to give mercy to everyone, and to accept the loving relationship from just anyone, okay? Because Krishna does a lot of pastimes, right? He comes in different forms. So this is one of his many, many forms. Okay. Right. So this is the transformation of this transcendental exchange between Queen Rukmini and the queens. Okay. Right. Okay, it is mentioned that they actually gotten this form because of the loving separation for his devotees. Okay, so now what happens that it is agreeable that they will install Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra in that form in the Puri temple. So they invited Lord Brahma to come over to install the deities. But later on, there's a story that Lord Brahma said, oh, I'm not qualified to install the deities, but I will just put the chakra on it, something like that. Okay. Now, before the installation, they will have to bathe the Lord, okay, to prepare the Lord. Okay, right. So that bathing ceremony is called Snana Yatra. Snan means bathing, Yatra means festival. Okay, so according to Skanda Purana, King Indrayumna installed the wooden deities. Before that, he arranged this bathing ceremony. So all the details how they perform this Snana Yatra was given is elaborated in this Puranas. Okay, I think it is elaborated in more than one scripture. And this bathing ceremonies, right, is done by the Savaras people as well. Okay, now after that, okay, what happens is, okay, there's something special about this water that they use. They have to take this water from deep in the forest where even the shadow of animals wouldn't have fallen on that water. So that kind of very sacred special water, and they carry in 130 containers. Okay, so the details are given in a lot of scriptures, so we won't go detail into that. So now what happens is that this happened during a summer season. Like now it's very hot, right? In India, it's really, really hot. I don't know what is the degree. So it's very hot and they have to bathe the Lord. So Kononia, the Lord will catch cold. Why? This is also another pastime because the painting on the wood, right? It's is made of natural painting. It's not like what we have now, oil painting, waterproof painting. We don't have all that. So at that time is a painting on wood. So when you bathe them repeatedly, the colors will be washed off. So which means they won't, you won't have all these features, right? So they need time to repaint them. So they have to go into seclusion for 2 weeks for them to be ready again for the darshan of the public. Now what happens is that because every time that there should be a reason, there's always a reason for Krishna to perform a pastime. So he did a pastime here. Now he used a Ganesha Bhakta to do this pastime. So let's see what pastime is that. Does anyone know this Hati Vesha pastime? Charana Mataji? No? Okay, so what happens is this. Okay, now one day there is he's a scholar that King Indrayumna awarded for something. All right, and King Indrayumna invited this person. Let's there's one festival going on. Why don't you follow me? Let's go and take part in the Snana Yatra. Okay, there are different versions of this story. Okay, so and this person is a Ganesha Bhakta. He had heard and read scriptures that the Lord, everything is in Supreme Lord, in Krishna. So he came to that festival with the hope that he wants to see Lord Ganesh in Lord Krishna. So he was having the intense desire to see Lord Ganesh in Lord Krishna. So when he went there, he couldn't see Lord Ganesh. Okay, and suddenly the Lord appeared with an elephant form that resembled as Ganesh, with the trunk, with the ears, like that. All right. So what happens is that after that, it is a practice that after Snana Yatra, because the colors all will be washed off, right? So they have to decorate Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra in elephant ornaments. So in a way, they're actually covering the smudged features. And also it's celebrated as the day that Krishna reciprocated with the love of a Ganesha Bhakta. So this is called Ganesha Vesha or Hati Vesha. Hati is elephant. Okay, so this is this practice, this tradition is being done even until now. So for a brief festival, for a brief moment, they will be dressed in Hati Vesha until they are taken into seclusion. Okay, so everything Krishna arranged with nice pastimes. Okay, so with these ornaments, right, they are covered. They remain mostly covered. Okay, now in that 2 weeks, right, what happens is that the only confidential Sabara servants will go and give food to Krishna. So they'll give all the sick food like soup, mild food. Even in our Jagannath temple during these 2 weeks, the food offering will be very simple. So Kononia, the Lord having flu. Okay, but it is also mentioned there's one time a pastime said that there's one book of pastime. So it is said that, oh, okay, this is just a simple pastime that Krishna made to go into seclusion to be repainted. He's not actually sick, like that. So this person who was actually serving after offering, right, closed the curtain and he was sitting outside and doing chanting. And there's nobody inside the altar. He actually heard someone sneezing and then doing like the sniffles, and then actually he went inside and he saw there's nobody there. Then he said, Lord Jagannath actually caught cold. All right, Krishna, Jagannath is so merciful. He likes to do this kind of pastime. Even until now, he does pastimes in devotees' houses, in devotees' temples. Okay, there's one time in 2 years ago when we were hit by pandemic, we are not able to go anywhere. We don't have Ratha Yatra, we don't have Snana Yatra. So the Gokul Garden had a program whereby they selected many students. They give one pastime to each of the students and that student has to narrate. So my 2 girls got 2 pastimes whereby one was slapped by Lord Balram. Another one, my younger one who did the Achum. Achum. So actually Jagannath got cold. So that's how I remember the story. So like this, there are so many stories that Lord Jagannath performed. All right. This is also a way for devotees to marvel at Lord Jagannath's glories and how he is so reciprocative, so personal to the devotees. Okay, how he communicates with them, and it strengthens our faith in him, increase our love and devotion for him. Okay, this is all. This is how it benefits the devotees. Okay. So yes,
that image is so cute.
this one, yeah. Yeah,
This
actually,
one.
this is originally from the Gokul Garden slides, but I have to revise a lot of things. So this one I maintain because it's so cute. Right?
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't want to replace it with any other pictures also.
It's too cute.
They are Sikla Konon. Yeah. Okay, so finally, after 2 weeks, they come out in this chariot. So in North, in Penang, they do have 3 chariots. In here, Klang Valley, we have 1 chariot. Okay. So after taking medicinal food and taking long rest, Lord Jagannath is feeling better. He comes out to give darshan to everyone. This is also because, let me check the timing now. Oh, 9:30 already. I'm so sorry. This is also because in Puri, there is a restriction that non-Indian nationals cannot enter Puri. So even like us, we can go. Okay, we can go, but we try not to speak in English or Malay, other language. So we have to speak in some Indian language, right? So until now, even my Guru Maharaj, all our sannyasis, they never been in because they are white, right? They are not allowed to go in. Okay, so what happens is that the Lord comes out. Even now, even generally chariot procession means what? Those who are not able to walk, those who are not mobile, those who are sick and diseased, they can't go to the temple to see the Lord. So the Lord mercifully comes out and gives darshan to everyone. This is another reason. Okay, so from the temple, they go to Gundicha's temple, Queen Gundicha's temple. Queen Gundicha is King Indrayuna's wife. So these are some of the glimpses, the work on the chariot. So this is one wheel. So Like Lord Jagannath has number of wheels, and Lord Subhadra's number of wheels is slightly lesser, something like that. Okay, so this is one look, and this is the Ratha Yatra look. So before the Lord Jagannath chariot moves, the king the Orissa king have to sweep. That is a practice. He will sweep with the golden handle, and it is happening even until now. Okay, this was last in 2021 during the pandemic. The Jagannath Ratha Yatra was still on. Okay, it went on. So the handle is gold. This is the king. So it means that no matter how big you are in the material world, whatever material status or material opulence did he have, in front of the Lord, we are all servant, we are all equal. So he will sweep outside the in front of the chariot. So this is happening until now also. Okay, some devotee will sweep, and then the chariot will start moving. So before the chariot festival, to prepare that temple to receive the Lord, there will be major cleaning process, major gotong royong process in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where this Chaitanya Charitamrita is a pastime, is describing the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, appeared 500 years ago. He came down personally to teach us how to chant, how to do devotional service, and how to clean the temple before Ratha Yatra. Okay, we also do it for other festivals, like before Janmashtami also we clean, but it is famous with this term, Gundicha Marjana. Marjana means cleaning. Gundicha means the temple's name. Okay, so the Chaitanya Charitamrita has detailed explanation what this devotee did, what they wipe, what they used to wipe, how they scrub, how they sweep, how they mop. Everything is given there. Okay, so basically the cleansing of this temple is also cleansing of our heart. We are inviting the Lord to our heart, and we want the heart to be clean. So that is another significance of Jagannath Ratha Yatra. Okay, there is another pastime whereby the Lord actually went to Battle of Kurukshetra Battle of Kurukshetra, and then the citizens of Vrindavan came, and they wanted to pull the chariot to Vrindavan, something like that. Okay, so basically it is pulling the Lord into our heart. Okay, so that is also another symbol. Okay, these are some important features why we should attend Ratha Yatra. So I hope most of you can attend Ratha Yatra here. It's Tamanyal. I'm not sure what date is that. Usually it starts at 5:30. Okay, if you can take half day or off day, you can come. So if you can't cook anything, you can bring grapes or cherries or nuts, you know, some dry fruits. You can bring in a plate, and you can offer to the Lord. Okay, the priest will offer to the Lord on the chariot, and it will be distributed to everyone. You can also get packet drinks or to distribute to the devotees who will be pulling the chariot, because the pulling of the chariot is done using a rope, okay, not by machines or cows or bulls, no. Okay, so these are the reasons why you must attend Ratha Yatra. It's the oldest festival. Millions of people come from all over the world. It's a festival for everyone. It's a global festival. It will uplift your mind and soul because it will be accompanied by ecstatic Harinam, Sankirtan. It's a grand celebration, march of peace and harmony. You get to savor the Mahaprasadam. You get prasadam waiting for you at the end of the festival. Of course, if you are able to pull the chariot, then you are on the way to stop the cycle of birth and death, and you will experience the spirit of Ratha Yatra. It is mentioned that even the Devas will come down to take part in this Ratha Yatra. So it is mentioned that in some places, the devotees will touch the feet of all the people who are pulling the chariot, because you'll never know who is Devas. Okay, so, and you don't want to offend anyone. Sometimes you step on their leg and everything. So you do that. Okay, so it is said that the residents of Vrindavan were almost lifeless when Krishna went to Dwaraka. And that was the moment they had been anxiously waiting for him to come. So this is how we also will be anxious to see Lord Jagannath after 2 weeks. So this feeling of separation and excitement is this is the spirit that we should have when we observe the festival of chariot. Okay, so again, Snana Yatra is coming. The Lord is going to take his bath. All right, after that 2 weeks of rest. And then he's going to come back with his fresh paint and, you know, all his glorious ornaments to bless everyone on the street. After thousands of years, the Jagannath deity remains. Kartini Mataji, can you read? I'm short of breath already.
Okay, Mataji. After thousands of years, the Jagannatha deity remains a source of unlimited joy to his friends and servants. And the Yatra procession is a time to celebrate the loving exchange between the personality of Godhead and his devotees. All those who take part in this festival will receive his special blessings and help on their journey back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Jagannatha Swami ki jai.
Hi, okay. Okay, one more person to read this. What are we achieving? We want to go back to Krishna by constantly hearing about him. And what are we doing? So this is the verse that is telling us what we are exactly doing right now. Roja Mat. Yes.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So I hope all of us have derived great satisfaction with my effort to narrate the Lord Jagannath's pastime. And actually, Lord Jagannath's pastime is very, very sweet. If you hear from the right people, it's very sweet. I just tried my best. So please forgive me if there's any shortcoming. I did not use the right word, you know, not so intelligent or what.
You did amazing, Mataji. Thank you.
Just try my best. I did the PowerPoint today only in the office, so whole day I had no works. I was doing this. Okay, so this is all about how to worship Krishna. Okay, Machita Madgata Prana, Bodha Yata Parasparam, Kata Yantascha Mam Nityam. Always talking about this kata. Tusyanti Chara Manti Chara. Great satisfaction and happiness. And this is one famous prayer for Lord Jagannath. Can we have somebody to read this? I'll read the Sanskrit. Yeah. Nila Chala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmani Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathayate Namaha. Is Darshini Mataji there or Somasundram Prabhu? Would you like to?
Yes, Mataji. I offer my humble, prostrated obeisance to the internal supreme power, Sri Jagannath, the super soul of all living entities. He resides with his divine elder brother, Sri Balabhadra, and little sister Sri Devi Subhadra in the most holy abode of Nilachala.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So this is a prayer to glorify Lord Jagannath. So when you stand in front of Lord Jagannath, you can say this prayer. There are also other beautiful songs also, glorifying chakra, and also chakra. After chakra is Smashana chakra. There's one more, forgot already. Okay, so I think this is in one of the Western countries. They did the sand art. Okay, so with that, we can end our session today. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying the Baba's 15 minutes. Thank you so much for your patience. So I hope with this meditation, we can celebrate the festival. And please hope to see you all for Radha Yatra. Those who are free, please come for Snana Yatra. Okay, the Snana Yatra, right? Generally, Abhishekam is done by the Brahmana priest in the temple, right? Generally, you would have observed that we public would not get the chance to go and Abhishek for the Lord. But here in our ISKCON movement, and for this festival, actually, there are a few more festivals that we all can go and bathe. But this festival, Jagannath, is so merciful. So please come over and you can bathe Jagannath. You'll be given conch, or I think usually it's conch. There'll be lots of items. So you can bathe the Lord and you can pray what you want. So please come over. I will share the agenda in our group. Hare Krishna.
Excuse me,
Thank you for
Mataji.
the
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yamuna Mataji, are you coming?
Yes, I want to come, Mataji. Shall I bring? Do I need to bring like milk or anything for the Abhisheka?
Usually it will be ready by then, but you can bring Mataji. I'm sure they can just stop up.
Okay.
Can.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Jai Mataji. It's my pleasure to share about Lord Jagannath.
Thank you for the
Thank you,
wonderful class,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you, Kati.
Thank you, Mataji.
See you
Hare
tomorrow,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. See you on
I'm not
Sunday.
coming for flower deco tomorrow. I think there's people. So I'll
Oh,
see.
you're not coming?
Yeah, but I'll enter Deity Kitchen on Sunday morning. So I will come for that.
Okay, Mataji. Then I see you on Sunday. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Mataji, can we get the recording, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
Recording.
Once yes, sure. I'll upload. Thanks, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.